Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Bad Joey here again with another video, and today we are discussing Destruction AllStars. Destruction AllStars is an action-packed sports event that pits drivers against one another in an intense competition. Car combat and arcade action-oriented races have become a rare breed, so anytime new game in the genre looks good enough to catch your attention, it's hard not to take notice. Plus, it will be a free game for all PS5 owners with a PS Plus subscription. There's certainly a lot to uncover here and a lot to look forward to as well. So let's start by discussing the release date. Originally planned with a November 2020 release in mind, but just like many other games, Destruction AllStars suffered some delays, and now it's supposed to be released in February 2021. So the question is, why the delay? Sony's director of product development Pete Smith announced the delay in a blog post and said anyone who pre-ordered the title will receive a refund. While the announcement does not identify a specific reason for delaying the release of the game, it does provide insight into the decision to offer it as a free title. He says, quote, "Destruction AllStars is a multiplayer game that's at its best when you're competing with gamers online from all around the world. We want as many people as possible to experience the mayhem on PS5, and what better way to do that than to provide the game to our own PlayStation Plus members." So was the delay a good news? Destruction AllStars will no longer be a PS5 launch title as the game has been pushed back to February 2021. But honestly, that's great news for a game that has had little to no fanfare and is unlikely to be purchased ahead of Demon's Souls or Spider-Man Miles Morales during the PS5's launch. Sony made the surprise announcement on the official PlayStation blog, but also stated that the game will headline PS Plus games for February 2021 and will be free for 2 months. With the game being priced at $70, it's quite the early next-gen saving if you had your eye on the frantic multiplayer title, and is likely to save Destruction AllStars from being overlooked entirely. Moving on to the gameplay, Destruction AllStars is all about creating chaos, as the basic premise of the game is continually ramming the opponent's vehicles in an effort to crush them and eventually eliminate them out of the round. Cars in Destruction AllStars are set to be quote-unquote disposable by design, which means players would cause as much chaos as possible. The cars come in 3 different variants. The first type is focused on reaching max speeds, the second one is built around superior handling, and the last one is the heaviest, which deals with huge amounts of damage but isn't so nimble. Simply crashing an enemy's vehicle isn't enough, as it would just knock the driver into the arena. This shifts Destruction AllStars' dynamics from crashing to evading, as the Fallen must utilize their fast movement speeds and parkour abilities and find an opening to jump into an opponent's vehicle. This, in return, would trigger a mini-game where the winner gets to keep the vehicle, or in the case of the attacker, even wreck it along with the driver. Destruction AllStars characters are also visually distinct. Each character comes with their own vehicle and an on-foot special ability that can be charged up via ramming opponents and collecting pickups. The trailer shows off 2 characters named Shift and Lupita. The latter can utilize her special ability to raise a trail of fire either on a vehicle or on foot, which damages anyone caught in them, while Shift, on the other hand, can turn invisible by using his special powers either on a vehicle or on foot, enabling players to carry out quick ambushes. So what about the game modes in Destruction AllStars? Destruction AllStars is set to release with 4 distinct game modes which can be played either solo or online. Mayhem, the first mode, is a typical team deathmatch that pits 2 teams against each other as they rack each other within a given time limit to gain the maximum number of points. Coronado is an 8 vs 8 game mode where wrecking the other team's vehicle will cause them to drop gears and in-game currency that needs to be collected in order to win the match. The catch, however, is that to cash in the gears, players need to ram their cars into Coronado, which is raging in the center of the map. This creates a unique dynamic of risk versus reward, which seems entertaining. The third mode, Stockpile, is an interesting adaptation of traditional Capture the Flag, as players will need to collect gears and then make their way on foot to one of the banks on the map. The team with the most banks in control at the end of the game win. The last mode, Gridfall, is a 16-player mode where every player needs to survive in an effort to be the last man standing. The arena will constantly become smaller and smaller in size as players will trade respawns in an effort to stay alive until the very last minute. In addition to these modes, a challenge series is also included which focuses on a particular All-Stars backstory and will put players through a set of challenges with a finale pitting them against their rival. Destruction AllStars includes a bunch of customization features such as emotes and skins which can be purchased using one of the two currencies. All-Star points can be earned by playing online, while Destruction points can be purchased via the PlayStation Store. Lucid Games has reassured that these upgrades will be purely cosmetic and won't give players any advantage against their opponents. Now, let's talk about the features you need to know about Destruction AllStars. Starting with price. Sony have become one of the several companies to adopt $70 as their new standard price for games, and Destruction AllStars will launch with that price as well. Something that Sony hasn't yet spoken much about is monetization. With its cosmetic in-game options, there's plenty of questions about how these will be unlocked, especially with all post-launch DLC being free, so we're hoping those in-game monetization details come soon. So what exactly can we expect from the vehicles we'll be driving in Destruction AllStars? Well, there's nearly 30 unique vehicles in the game. As each match begins, several basic vehicles will be scattered throughout the map, though it's worth noting that each character in the roster will also have their own signature vehicle with special abilities. Which brings us to the hero vehicles. Some of the examples Sony have revealed for the aforementioned signature hero vehicles give an interesting idea of what we can expect from them. For instance, the Undisputed, which belongs to the character Ultimo Barricado, can activate a large shield. Twinkle Riot's vehicle, Mr. Sparkle, can enter Rampage mode, allowing you to hit harder with your attacks. Genesis Callisto can use boosters which can not only help with speed, but allow you to slam enemies much harder. Then there's Hannah's Saber, which can slice opponents in half with a large blade. With that, we move to hero abilities. As with hero vehicles, details on some hero abilities have also been revealed. Ultimo Barricado, true to his name, can become invulnerable to all incoming enemy attacks. There's Lupita, who can spew a trail of fire to deal damage to her foes. There's Shift, who can temporarily go invisible and perhaps even leverage that to steal an enemy's vehicle. Then there's Box Stop, who can spawn a parcel that will not only provide your teammates with buffs, but also deal with explosive damage to your enemies. And this trickles down to abilities. It won't just be the vehicles and their abilities that will turn the tide of battle in Destruction AllStars. As we've mentioned, characters seem to play just as much of a role in the game as their vehicles, and each character having their own movement options and unique abilities to help them behind the wheel, as well as when they're on foot. Using character abilities and vehicle abilities in conjunction is likely going to be crucial to success in Destruction AllStars. And lastly, cinematic rivalries. It seems like Destruction AllStars will be leaning heavily into its heroes, not only for gameplay purposes, but also for storytelling and cinematic purposes. Background and story details on these characters haven't been revealed yet, but the developers have said that many characters will have quote-unquote cinematic rivalries that will explore the motivations of these All-Stars. Alright guys, here's everything you need to know about Destruction AllStars. Let us know what you think in the comments down below, and as always, make sure to subscribe for more daily videos like this one, and drop us a like to support the channel. See you in the next video.